So I am reviewing the book Wise School by William Richardson. One of the things he does and starts out with is this story about him and his wife letting his son play Minecraft in order to learn Minecraft. And they don't say anything besides you can play. And then they let their son go about his business. And within a day or two, the son is frustrated and annoyed and happy and elated and frustrated because he's learning how to play this game all on his own. With nothing else but the use of his computer, his dad's computer, and he starts chatting with other people, friends, strangers, about how to play Minecraft. And that's where the book takes off. In the book, he quotes a Canadian researcher, Stephen Downes, and it says, "We have to stop thinking of an education as something that is delivered to us and instead see it as something we create for ourselves." This is exactly what his son does, is he creates his education for himself. He learns how to play Minecraft just by doing and exploring and researching. He then goes on to discuss the concept of No Child Left Behind. How No Child Left Behind really makes us become educators to a test, and that's how we rate our students. The National Accreditation for Teachers of English Literacy is develop proficiency with a tool of technology, build relationships with others to pose and solve problems collaboratively, cross-culturally, design and share information for global communication that meets a variety of purposes, manage, analyze, and synthesize multiple streams of simultaneous information, create, critique, analyze, and evaluate multimedia text, and attend to the ethical responsibilities required by these complex environments. That's the thing, is if we went by these standards, how many adults would be considered literate? So our world is changing, and he wants us to rethink teaching and rethink learning. We think that learning is a teacher lecturing to us and then us doing the work and the homework, and that's not how it is anymore. If you look up Shakespeare, you get 100,000 results for Shakespeare. So how do we teach kids Shakespeare and what we want them to know, where they can just Google it and find out a million things that are not accurate? This is the trials and tribulations of the current teacher. He points out that 1 out of 2 new teachers leave the profession within 5 years. Is that because we're not being prepared well enough to teach? Or is that because we're teaching in a way that is 20th century when we're living in the 21st century? And there's been a big change. Part of my case study was on touchscreen. In the last 2 years, the amount of iPhones and iPads and Androids has went from a couple 100,000 in 2010 to 54 million on the last release of the iPhone 6. So in 2010, just 100,000, 200,000, and now 54 million of them. That's just a huge turnaround in what technology has done in just 2 years. So we need to keep up with the times. And so he says that we should rethink teaching. Share everything, or at least some things. In this class, we learn about Pinterest and Google Community, Twitter, and all these social media sites that we share information on. The EDU blog sites and communication logs, and all these things are things we share our information with. We need to start discovering the curriculum with the students. Don't deliver them the curriculum. They can deliver it themselves, but what we need to do is challenge them to discover what we're trying to teach them. We have to stop delivering the curriculum to kids. We have to start discovering it with them. So it's the same thing as the prior one. Discover, don't deliver. But they want us to discover with the students. Make it participant with the students. The quote that I really liked from this book is, "In the times of great change, learners will inherit the earth while the learned will be beautifully equipped for a world that no longer exists. And if you talk to our parents, I'm in my late 30s, and if you were to talk to my parents, there's not much they know about technology. Yes, they can navigate Facebook, and they can send an email, but they aren't getting into technology. And even a lot of people my own age, where I work, a lot of them can't do more than send emails and the basics. They're not learning how to be equipped. We just got a new computer system, and because I'm very knowledgeable with computers, I'm able to navigate it. And yet, 9 other people on the staff are coming to me to ask me questions when I did the exact same training they did. And it's just, I know how to work with it because I've been exposed to more technology than they have. Also, a great thing that he pointed out is there's no competitive advantage today in knowing more than the person next to you. The world doesn't care what you know. What the world cares about is what you can do with it. What you can do with what you know. This can't be more true than in our classrooms. We're teaching to a test, which is supposed to say what student knows more than another student, yet that student doesn't translate into being a worker in a machine shop. That test doesn't translate into working at a fast food restaurant, which is actually quite difficult in multitasking. It just doesn't compute these tests the students take to the real world. William Richardson really says, why school, when school isn't preparing students for the future? His son learned more about Minecraft in 2 or 3 days than he was learning in entire semesters because he was interested in it, entertained in it. He didn't let his children take the standardized testing because he didn't want them labeled. And I really think that education is changing, but the problem is it's only changing here and there. It's not changing across the board. I just think that the why school is going to become a harder and harder question as people come out of school and are not as well prepared for college as they should be. Then again, going to college isn't a guarantee of a better job. So what is the solution to this world, which he pointed out is going to be more and more people who are independent contractors, working independently of large firms and just doing it on their own? What is the answer?